Hello and welcome back to the Indian PokeTube, and finally I'm bringing you a very solid team for the Summer Cup. It is super balanced. It's an ABB team because I love ABB teams, and I went on another 10 streak with this team. First match, absolutely horrible lead. I'm going to safe switch to my Tentacruel, and this draws out the Lantern, so hard countered on the lead and on the safe switch. I'm going to go for a CMP tie here. I'm going to go for an acid spray, and this is going to be a thunderbolt. So there are two ways you can place this. I'm going to show you both. So I'm going to shield this, and then I think a Scald would probably come very close to take him out. So I'm going to go for an acid spray and go for a zero charge. He shields, so it's fine. In case he didn't shield, I just wanted to get more farm with my chestnut. So it's fine that he shields because he wants to keep switch, and he was scared that a Scald might take him out from there, and he's going to go for a surf. So I've loaded a lot of energy on my chestnut, and I can go for a big superpower on the Noctowl. It does around 40 to 45%. It does around 40%. Then I can bring in my Toxapex and let's see what he has in the back. So again, like I said, it's an ABB team. If you can draw out the Lantern with the guy, and many of the times Toxapex can sweep, and he has a Vigoroth in the back. So this match is actually doable. I'm going to go for a bait with the Brine. Opponent calls it. Great play there by the opponent. Opponent has made all the most amazing plays so far. I'm going to shield the potential bulldoze, and I'm trying to but I do get baited there. So I'm really trying to burn the switch clock so I can catch a bulldoze. And am I able to catch the bulldoze? Let's see. Did Chestnut catch the bulldoze? Yes, we did, and that is going to seal the game here. I'm not throwing my move, if you noticed. I don't want to give the Noctowl any farm. I want him to take me out. That's fine. I can bring in my guy. I can go straight for the Sludge Wave. The Noctowl is pretty dry on energy, and this is going to boom, take out the Owl, farm down the Vigoroth, and we are able to take that game in spite of getting hard countered. I would say super hard countered on the lead and the safe switch. So this is, never give up. That was the whole point of the first match. That's what I wanted to say. Even if you're hard countered, it's fine. There's a chance. Second match, again a bad lead. This matchup definitely favors the Venusaur. So I'm going to go for a superpower before he reaches a Sludge, and I'm going to safe switch to my guy. I have to draw out the Lantern. I have to draw out a ground type so that my Toxa can sweep. He does go for the Frenzy, which does massive damage, and he's staying in. So great play by the opponent. I can shield this, and I can throw a Scald just before he reaches his next move. But he comes in with his own Toxapex, if I'm not wrong. Yep, he does come in with his own Toxapex, and at least I can get off. And I'm going to go for a Scald just as he reaches his Sludge Wave, I think. I'm not sure. When I was playing, I tried to CMP him and I get an attack drop. The opponent is not throwing, he's trying to farm me down, but that is going to hurt the opponent because I can reach another Scald. And just take a look at that. I've got the Toxapex down to 15% health. I can bring in my own Toxapex and eat all of this energy. There's nothing you can do. Look at that Sludge Wave. It didn't even do 10%. In the back, he has a Walrein and is looking horrible because he has a shield advantage with his Walrein, and he still has a Venusaur. So I go for a Brine bait. I get the shield. I went for a catch on the Earthquake, but I don't think I was able to do it. Opponent reacted fast enough, went for an Icicle Spear, and he's going to go for another Icicle Spear before I make a superpower. Amazing plays by the opponent. He's playing super well. Now I have to bait him again and also make sure that he doesn't bait me. So I've got one call light. I baited him once. Do I bait him twice? I do bait him twice. So 2 out of 2. Third, I have to make a call on this move. I think he's gonna bait. Walreins love baiting. I call the bait and I get the call right. So that is 3 out of 3 calls. Now is the 4th call. Is it the Earthquake? Yes, it is. So I've got 4 50-50s, and that is going to allow me to win the game. Honestly, I could have gone for 2 Brines, but I know that the Walrein is super away from an Earthquake. He will not make it. I can just farm him down, nom, or just go for a Brine. Who cares? But I'm going to win this game after getting 4 crazy calls right. I mean, that's insane. Even if I failed one of those 4 calls, I would have lost the game. So the opponent had crazy advantage in this game, but I was able to pull it back with some insane gameplay. So we hop into the next match, and you're going to see how good this team is. It's an ABB team, like I said. So pick up a lead against the Vigor, and I thought I'll lose CMP here. So which is why I go for the Superpower on the CMP. But I end up winning it. I really thought that Vigor has a pretty high attack stat, so I'm going to lose it. So my superpower would have gone second. I wouldn't need to shield, but now I have to shield. So I mean, it is what it is. Can't help it. In comes a Spider Boy. I'm going to go straight for the acid spray. I honestly should have built up to 1 more, but luckily this opponent shields anyway. So the opponent clearly does not know the count for Scald, and acid spray. I know it's the difference is just one, but he still should have should have known that it's just an acid spray. Anyway, he takes out the Tentacruel. Great play by him, not baiting with the Lunge. I can bring in my Chestnut, overfarm massively here. I can throw 5 more, and then I can go for superpower. This is going to take out the guy, and then I can bring in my Toxapex with a shield advantage against the world, and he has a Tropius and a Vigoroth in the back. So I have to shield the Bulldoze correctly. I always like to shield the first move because, but then I was going to say it's unlikely they bait, but here he does bait here, and it turns out being a CMP. I was like, is this a Bulldoze? No way, right? And it's not. So I was counting in the game. If I remember correctly, I counted to 7. So I'm going to undercharge, it still KOs him, and now I have to live I'm hoping he doesn't make 2 leaf blades because I know that 2 will KO. So at this time I don't remember the counts, but luckily he's not at the move. I would have lost CMP anyway even if I threw it right there. So I'm going to go for an extra poison jab. This doesn't even KO him, he's so bulky, but my Chestnut can come farm him down, and that's a great game. So I mean, honestly, this was a bad lead. This was a neutral lead. The last 2 games were bad leads, but we've still been able to come back and win all of those. And also, I'm sorry if I sound weird. I have a bit of a cold and an infection, which is why I might sound a little weird. Okay, a terrible lead in the 4th game. I'm going to safe switch to my Tentacruel, and opponent responds with Jellicent. And this is a matchup where I make a big mistake. I'll actually show you exactly what that mistake was. So I go for the poison spray, which is fine. I can tank a couple of shadow balls, a shadow ball. And next up, I should have really undercharged the next move. So this is my mistake. He's going to go for a surf straight away, I don't know why. So I'm going to go for a Scald, but I should have really undercharged a nice, and that's fine because I would have come out of this matchup with a lot of energy. Look how low I got the jelly. I'm only going to get a few fine whips here. So I could have easily tanked the shadow ball because I don't need health on the Chestnut. I needed energy to win, and then I could have gone for back-to-back superpowers here. But sadly I'm not able to do that, and in the back he has a fishy boy. So we are triple hard countered, that is true. But then in spite of that, I think I may have been able to win the game. I'm going to try my best. I shield the Thunderbolt correctly. I have to bait him, but I'm going to go straight for the Sludge first off. I have a feeling he doesn't shield. Does he shield us? He does not. So I'm making all the right calls, but sadly that misplay in the middle of the game is going to cost me. So yep, so this is something I definitely could have done. I'm going to throw a Brian just before he reaches his next Thunderbolt. Does he let this go? He does, and now he's going to put all of his faith. I tried to catch an energy ball, but sadly I'm not able to. Opponent is too good for me. He just goes for that weather ball. Amazing plays again, and I know that at this point his Shadow of almost no. 1 energy ball takes me out. I'm going to bait again to get the shield. No reason. I know this is going to take me out. So great game. Respect to my opponent for playing so well. But honestly, if I played better, I think I would have been able to win this game because I would have an extra shield against him because I could have gotten 2 superpowers off with my Chestnut. So yeah. Lots to learn after each game. I don't so next final game, terrible lead. So all terrible leads throughout the video. Absolutely horrible lead. I'm going to safe switch to my Tentacruel. Everything that my Chestnut can throw is double resisted on the little spider, and I'm responded with a Lantern. So double hard counters so far, which is fine. I mean, honestly, most of the matches are hard counters. And I'm going to go for another acid spray, and this time you see me going for an absolute 0 charge. Honestly, you can even not throw this, it's fine because you want more energy with the Chestnut. But in this particular matchup, energy on Chestnut is useless because can't do anything against the guy, against the Spooder. So it's all up to the guy, the Toxapex. I'm going to bring in the Toxapex. Let's see what he has in the back. He has a Vigoroth. So let's see if we can pull this off. We're going to need some crazy plays here because it's basically Toxapex versus 2 months. Chestnut has nothing to do. I'm going to bait. I get the shield call, right? He does fall for the bait. I'm going to shield, hoping it's a Bulldoze. But he's going to bait me as well with a Body Slam, which is fine. I just want to kill the Switch Clock. I have a loaded superpower. If I can get the shield, I can snipe. Remember that. So he does go for the Bulldoze, which is absolutely amazing. Now I can offer massively because Bulldoze is pretty expensive. It's 9 to the first one. I don't know if the second one is 8 or 9. So I'm going to overfarm a lot, and wham bam combo play. In comes the Chestnut, and this superpower is going to boom take down the guy. But then this guy can get a lot of farm, so I'm not going to go for superpower. I'm going to go for frenzies because then it won't lower my attack. I also have a loaded Brine, so the opponent is kind of forced to throw. I mean, it's up to him because he's reaching for 100 energy. How much will he right? So he's going to take me out, and now Toxapex is too bulky for Ariados. So this game is in the bag. I played this matchup earlier as well. We went up straight in a straight shootout with the same number of shields, health, and energy. Toxapex bullies the spider because we're just too bulky. So this is going to be a great game, and this team I can highly recommend it if you want to climb, because it's a very, very solid ABB team, and it's been doing really well for me. And yeah, if you guys like the video, do subscribe to the channel and like it and share it with your friends.